To make time entries with this application, once you installed it, simply open up an item. Say I worked on a presentation for the event, and then I can do a time entry right here. So this is how you do it. You select a day. Well, say I did some work on this today. Making a presentation is what I usually do in my marketing work. And then I fill out the hours like so. Maybe it took me an hour. Then I add a description what I exactly did. I added in the visuals and log the hours. So once these are logged, you see a brief overview here on the time spent already on this item level. And that same information is available to display on an item bar, like Joel shared. So here we see, okay, actual effort is the 5 hours that was just visible, and you can compare that with your planned effort. Now, in this case, we still got plenty of hours to work on this presentation, so we shouldn't worry too much yet. But when you come close, you got to pay attention to these things. With the application, you can also do a whole lot more if we go to this timesheet overview we have right here. You can recognize that on the Tracket icon. Now, this is what my current work week looks like, and it's a personal timesheet. So here we have all hours I worked on different items in different categories. I'm a pretty got a pretty broad spectrum of things I keep busy with. Buying snacks, one of my favorite things to do. So as you can see, on Monday I spent 4 hours on that. Maybe it was 5 hours, so then I can change up these hours like so. Same goes with making pizzas. Okay, maybe I also did some pizza making today. I can add in hours like this, or edit the existing ones. Then there are suggested combinations, and you can use those to quickly add in new items that you made time entries on in the past. For example, well, say I make presentations on a regular basis, you can add those in and then do the hours on the day that you worked. So here we see the work week is not complete yet because we're only halfway through. But if we look at last week, we got the full work week. And well, surprisingly, I spent almost my whole week making pizzas. So that's, I'd say, a good week. But this is almost finished. Maybe I did a little more on Friday, and then it's complete, ready to submit to the approver for them to check the hours. And that's an optional feature, by the way. So if you don't want to get bothered by the whole approval flow of things, then just you can just turn that off and keep things simple. Now, say I check my own hours, or maybe Joel does. I'll submit it to Joel so he can check my hours. Then he has access to the team part. So this is really where more functionality comes in as it comes to reviewing timesheets and doing reporting, because these people are usually the project managers, and we can review per team all approvals that have been sent in. So here we're with the friends team, and we got a couple timesheets this week that are still open. As you can see, not everyone is actively logging their hours. So we got Phoebe and Ross, they still got some time to log. But for the rest, everyone is doing all right. We can go to last week, and we see, okay, these timesheets have been submitted. Now, I just submitted one, that was this one, but also Joey does, and he submitted it to me as I am his approver. So I can review his timesheet like here, and then see exactly the hours he logged, and then either approve or reject. Now, this all looks good, so I'm going to approve his timesheet. But if I go back to approvals, I can also see that Ross submitted his timesheet, but he worked 40 hours out of his 32 hours that he regularly works. So the thing here is, we can also reject the timesheet. And is in this case, he overworked. So we can then reject it, say like, hey, Ross, is this really how much time you spend on invites, on sending invites? As that's a full week. And then he can, well, make changes if needed. Okay, so that's for approvals. That really ensures that you have accurate time entries, that you got the right information to then be used for reports to really get a good idea of how you're doing with your team. And that can be found in reports. Again, we select the team and we see a complete overview of all hours me and my team worked. This tells us a bit on how the team's been doing in terms of workload, but we got more details to be added. So we can group by the different boards that are available in our Monday instance that the time has been spent on. By now, you already know we got two projects running. So we got Halloween, and then we have Christmas. So we've been highly invested in Halloween. That's really the first project coming up. And Kobe and Joey already started doing some prepping for the Christmas event. But we want to know how the tasks are doing on this project level. So we can add in another group and then do the items. So this is really where we see all tasks, like buying the snacks, sending the invites, well, making the pizzas. And as you can see, me and Joel really like to do that. All right, so this can then be exported and shared with others. If you're doing this for clients, you can really do that. And also you can filter stuff out. So say we filter out this project Halloween, we only see those hours, and then we can do specific items that we like to learn from. The same information we see right here is able to be able to display in a visual way. So you can do dashboards as well. And these, you can tie these in really well with the ones Joel shared, because this really fills out the things, the bits on a team management level, but also the task levels. And what Joel shared, well, does the same thing, but then a bit from a higher level overview. So definitely see if you can combine the two. And I just like to highlight a couple. We got our total time spent per project in every week. Now we can see, okay, Halloween, we started working on this in week 40 and spent 146 hours. And then we got our time spent in the last month per project divided by tasks. Again, Halloween is really what we aim for, or what we spend our time on. But also internally, we can see, okay, how has each department been doing? So we got marketing effort, office management effort, a bit of sales. And then lastly, we got each team member. How's everyone doing? Well, Joel and I are actually working exactly the same hours these days. So in the past month, we are right there, kind of doing the same effort. Okay, well, I think that's the main bits of the application. So why is this important? With this, you can keep track of the time spent on your projects, but also by your team, identify time wasters or weak links, and then use that information to your benefit to run better projects, make clients happy, do successful events, and still make some money off it, if that's your business, if that's your aim. We also have nonprofit organizations using this. So there are more motives to keep track of time. Just I'm a wrap up here and move on, but just want to highlight one thing, that there are admin settings available in Tracket. Have a look yourself if you can. With this, you can customize your settings and really optimize your overall performance with the app.